Hey everyone, my name is Taps, and there is no sugarcoating it. The past two drops on Veve have been pretty rough. First with the Simpsons Golden Moments, and then again with Disney's Elsa and Mickey's Sorcerer Hat Golden Moments. It's frustrating, but this is where making smart decisions over emotional ones really come into play, and why you should have a plan if this is to continue, especially if you're new, which if this is your first time experiencing Veve NFT drops, they've been consistently strong for months and months. So I'm sorry if this is your first experience, but in this video, I'm going to cover what not to do as well as what to do based on the current drop issues. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community and feel free to subscribe. I'm a crypto, stock, and real estate investor, but never a financial advisor. All right, so as we can see on Sunday, Veve came out with a tweet that said, "First, thank you for your passion. Today's drop sold out quickly." This is referring to the Simpsons drop. As expected, but it was not without its issues. Here's what happened. One of our third-party providers were not scaled properly at drop time, which caused performance issues. Now, the Elsa drop that happened was slightly better than Sunday's, but it still was not solid, as the only way to secure it was if you stayed really on the app for roughly 18 plus minutes, and many were able to secure multiple where most others failed. And that is not how Veve is set up. It is meant to be fair, equitable, and usually it's hard to get even like 1 out of 60,000 additions most of the time. This is frustrating. They're aware of it. They're working on it. And no, it is not fair, but you can either swear it off based on, being frustrated that there's this all happening, or you can take these tips and rise above it since there is money to be made. First, is this solely a third-party issue? Probably not solely, since we've seen similar issues like this before. If you've been around since March, this all seems too familiar, right? Where similar screens and similar issues we've seen. And what happened 8 months ago was because our user growth 10x'd in a month and the app couldn't handle it. With all of the attention, with Al Khan being on Inc. magazine and Disney everywhere, Marvel, all of the influencers covering Ecomi and Veve right now, it's possible that our user growth has absolutely skyrocketed and we could be either at or close to that 1 million user base mark. And with it, we're starting to see some of those scaling issues that we had back then. So is this frustrating? Yes, in the interim, we are all very upset that we're not getting these collectibles, but I'm sure this can and will be fixed, but it may not be immediate. So these tips that I'm going to tell you are here to help you in case the glitchiness of the app continues throughout this week. First of all, what not to do. And I'm not trying to throw any shade at this person. Thank you for following me and for leaving a comment. I understand your frustration, but you need to think like an investor. I received this comment. Veve is totally BS. Couldn't even get my app started. Yeah, I'm really PO'd. Just sold all my OMIs for ETH. I'm done. Good luck. Bye, guy. I received this comment when I streamed the drop, and this legitimately made me upset. Not mad at this person, but more sad that they're making a bad investment decision out of frustration. As a collector, as someone who is passionate about this project, yeah, it is very frustrating, but nothing has changed. That this is the NFT project with the most and biggest IP out there, hands down, that are raking in tons of money from all of this success. And you're choosing to sell OMI out of app issues that they fixed before. And all before there is actually utility granted to the OMI token, and before Immutable X, which is hopefully any day now, and before exchanges. It just doesn't make sense from an investment standpoint to make this decision based on frustration off the Veve app. However, clearly not alone. So what also not to do is assume that everyone will sell OMI because the app is having short-term issues. As we've seen, some felt the same way. Either they just started, they hopped in, they believed in it, and then because there's an immediate issue, they hop out. And when you're choosing to do so, you're just giving a lower entry point to those who have actually been waiting for it to continue to tick down before it obviously ticks back up. But the narrative behind the OMI token hasn't changed, and OMI's utility hasn't been granted yet, which is exactly how it's been criticized for forever. So why would you sell OMI when there's an issue with the Veve app. The drop still sold out, which means OMI is still being burned. The licensor still made a ton of money, so the integrity of the partnership is still intact. And when it comes to actual individuals making money in the Veve app, those who knew the strategy ahead of time and were able to secure a few turned $60 into what is now $400 for a Homer or $300 for an Elsa, even more for the hats and skateboard. I struck out on both, but I did buy a Homer for $190 as well as an Elsa for right around the same, which is now a 2x investment. So even in the marketplace, it was still profitable. And here's the crazy thing is I actually know a user who struck out on the Homer drop, but then secured one Elsa today. That Elsa was number 42. That is the second rarest drop you can get because 40 are kept out. And so 41 would be the rarest and 42 would be the second rarest. That is roughly $6,000 to $9,000 right now. And the price is on the rise, so who knows what it'll be later. Imagine if he had that negative mentality of the first issue affecting him and didn't keep trying today. So don't swear off your OMI or Veve. Try to stay positive and don't let the negativity swat your investment. Now I'm going to get into what you should do in order to secure these drops if the issues continue. But before I do, I noticed something about Pixar's WALL-E. First of all, I really like this drop. I love Pixar. I thought WALL-E was a great movie. And you have the Toy Story Pizza Planet car also, which is really cool to see right here. But what jumped out to me is there are 2,000 less editions than there were of the common Elsa and the common Homer and Bart. This could be the case again with the Iron Man that is coming on the next drop, and then maybe another 2,000 chopped off on C-3PO and R2-D2. So if this continues, strategy is needed more than ever because the total additions are dropping down as more of them come. Now on to some best practice that what you should be doing during drop time for the rest of this week. Make sure you're in the app early. There were issues getting into the app even 10 minutes beforehand back on Sunday, so I'd recommend that you get in the app at least 25 to 30 minutes before the actual drop. The next tip is I do recommend that you turn off auto lock. So it could be different for Android phones, but go to your settings, click on display and brightness, and this is in an iPhone. Tap on auto lock, and then you want to go ahead and go down to never. And the reason why is because, of course, you don't want your phone to time out and then maybe the app resets, but that way you just keep it on and in front of you the entire time. And if you don't see the option for never, then you could have the low battery mode on, which you want to turn that off. Next, during drop time, you want to actually click where the buy now button is going to be. So this is known as Space Gate, which Veve Vault has done great little tips and tricks on drops. And this is one that is very, very functional for these blind boxes. So there's this little space right there where that buy now button will pop up during the timer. And obviously you will run into issues if these issues continue, but just know that the button is there. Next, no matter what, stay in the app. Do not exit out, do not close it. So when you do click that buy now button and you do get this attempting to secure an order reservation, it could then go into that lovely green truck where you secure it, or it could then go to the red screen where you didn't. And if there is still a glitch issue, you will see that red screen, but you will also see the option to continue clicking buy now. If this is the case, stay on that screen, stay in the app. If you switch out of that screen and then back in, the timer could reset and then run into issues, which is what happened on my stream. So if there is a glitch, you may not obviously see the pending delivery, but you could still see that buy now button. So stay on the screen, keep clicking it, just keep jamming. And yes, this is a time commitment, but stay here for 18 to 23 minutes because that's what's been effective for people is they say, oh, I got it 18 minutes or I got it 20 minutes or I got it 22 minutes later. And I've spoken with many, many people through Telegram and Twitter who they had these stories and they're like, yeah, I got 2 or I got 3. So if you follow these steps, if there's another glitch in these Disney drops, then this is the way. This is not what we expected from Disney Week, but the app issues will pass and you'll be kicking yourself later if you gave up on OMI or Veve now. Just as those people who probably gave up back in March or April when there were issues when it was in beta and they gave up back then. They've missed out on 10, 20x, 30x's of those collectibles. While this is in no way a good thing, the fact that the app's biggest issue is that it can't handle how much people want these NFT collectibles. The fact that thousands thousands of editions consistently in less than a second sell out. And the fact that the user base continues to skyrocket to the point of breaking the app. All of those are long-term positives. So just zoom out from the current frustration and remember to make strategic financial moves, not emotional ones. As always, I hope you found my content valuable, and if so, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. The likes and comments appease the algo overlords and help my channel continue to grow. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell for future content. That's it for today. I'm Taps. Thank you for your time, and happy trading.